Let's move on to the second day of the creation.
Now tell us, what was God doing on the second day of creation? In the second day, when God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse, and he divided the waters which are under the expanse from the waters which are above the expanse. And so it was. God called the expanse sky. So there was evening, and there was morning. It was the second day. The firmament is a form of semi-visible astral manifestation that God made between the waters, that is to say, a semi-astral and semi-visible separation that God made between the spirits. In the visible world, the firmament represents the highest place that can be seen with the naked eye, but it is not really visible in the concrete sense of visible things. Then this sky separated the entities which are in the service of man from the entities which are in the service of God, although God is above all the entities. Despite this, no entity was yet manifested in the tangible world, because the sky is not a visible entity, but rather a semi-astral and semi-visible entity. How can you say that nothing was yet manifested in the visible world, while the word clearly explains that God separated the waters by the firmament? Tell me, are the waters which are below the firmament not the waters of the sea? No, Smith. You did not follow my explanations well. As I have already explained to you that the waters are spirits. If the waters that are below the firmament were the waters of the sea, likewise the waters that are above the firmament would also be another sea that exists above the firmament. But this is not the case. But, if what I think is not true, how it was, explain it to me so that I understand it. Here's how it was. Let's follow the explanation of wisdom during the creation of the world, because wisdom is before all things, and all are created by him and for him, according to Colossians 1 verse 15 to 17. Here is what he says in Proverbs 8 from verse 24 to 28. I was born when there were no abysses, no springs laden with waters. Before the mountains were established, before the hills existed, I was born. He had not yet made the earth, nor the countryside, nor the first atom of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he traced a circle on the surface of the deep, when he fixed the clouds above, and the springs of the deep gushed forth with might. I am going to draw your attention to the last two verses 27 and 28. Wisdom says in verse 27, when he established the heavens, I was there, when he traced a circle on the surface of the deep. In this verse, wisdom explained the order of the creation of things. First, the heavens are created. These represent the firmament and other heavens. He traced a circle on the surface of the deep. This circle represents the terrestrial globe, and the deep represents the dark unfathomable space that envelops our universe. In this verse, the firmament and the earth are created without there having been water yet. It is in verse 28 that the creation of water will appear when wisdom says, when he fixed up the clouds, and the springs of the abyss gushed forth with might. Okay. If you can understand this sentence, it explains to us that the waters of the sea appear when God fixed up the clouds in the sky. This means that all the waters of the earth are governed by the clouds which are in the firmament. If you can understand the movement of the clouds, you will also understand the movement of the waters of the sea. In conclusion, in the second day there's only the firmament, which was created to establish a spiritual separation between the spirits which are above the firmament and those which are below the firmament. The waters of the sea, the clouds, and the circle which is the terrestrial globe were not yet manifested in the visible world.
The third day of the creation. Let's move on to the third day of the creation. Now Zach, if the waters below the firmament were not waters of the sea, explain to us what God did on the third day of